Welcome to Grow D2C. Let's begin.
Let's talk about the another major pain point, which is distribution channel for finding a distribution channel for D2C commerce brand. So at this particular size of different D2C brands, what shall I ask this question? Say, what is the best distribution channel that you have came across, or how do you look at it?
I think best is a very subjective term, and each channel has its advantages, its disadvantages, and there are just so many tiny nuances in this. D2C is often conflated with just e-commerce, which I would say also factors in marketplaces, which are another channel altogether that some businesses depend, sizably on. But if we're talking pure play D2C, you're going to have the standard channels, the Facebook, the Google, some other media buying platforms. You'll have smaller ones like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Many of these ones that you will see as part of the first set of channels you explore. Each of these has such a different modus operandi. Each of these has such unique levers you can pull on. If we were to take Google, for example, in a category like ours, which is baby care, it's going to be a little difficult to scale, just considering the fact that you're bidding with giants in the industry, right? The largest players are bidding for the same set of keywords. So for categories, it becomes a bit difficult for your brand to achieve scale with a PPC model. But if you were to look at Facebook and your branding is great, you can make these inroads into new audiences and discover different customer bases across your geo-targeting. Each of these has limitations to scale. Each of these needs to be used intelligently and in unison, and with a lot of real thinking that, am I going to be able to sustain this return on ad spend as I 2x or 3x my spend? Because most often than not, a platform is not infinitely scalable, right? Otherwise, you can just keep putting money in it. But all these have their limitations. And I don't think you can identify any of them to be the best. Some of them will give you tremendous ROI, but at a small scale. And you cannot scale beyond that because you don't have a larger audience. But each of these has its own advantages. And the way it has to be played with is you put a bunch of money initially and all these different channels and see which works for you best. Certain businesses have been able to scale really well with one channel, and one agency might have a preference because they have stronger capabilities to navigate that platform, stronger connections, more experience. But that also assumes you're working with agency. If you're working with it, you have to kind of see what works best for you.
Got it. So